Okay, this is, I guess you would call it DVGaming Whitelist Server Part 2. I have found a fortress, another fortress, and one of the things, this is one of the things I wanted to accomplish was to find another fortress, which I have done, and to find the blaze spawner and set it up. Already done a bunch of stuff here. As you see, I've put red torches down to light my way, and I've gone back and put I'm already lit up the way with the jack-o'-lanterns. I've closed off the passageways to keep as much stuff. As you can see, there's the spawner up there. Whoa, one got me. Oh, look at that. I must have got him angry. And that is why I looked to find this, so I could get the blaze rods. So I've accomplished this. And also I would be able to get the nether skeletons here to get the 3 skulls to make the boss now. And I haven't harvested this because I got some of this at the beginning of the game from the supplies at the spawn. So even though I have it, I have found it on my own. And that's pretty much what I'm trying to accomplish here, is to accomplish as much of this stuff on my own. So anyway, this is the nether fortress that I found. And I've set up my blaze killing area so that I can get the blaze rods. This is the walkway that I built to get over to the nether fortress. Now, how I found this nether fortress is I had shown you in my previous video where I made that large room. I think it was 30 by 30 by 10 down near my mine that I was mining for minerals, and I was using that because it was spawning things like, well, everything really. And I thought I would try the same thing here. So this is where we begin, just to show you where we're at. This is the room where the portal is to get into the nether. And I had already, where we just came from, that area, I had dug down. The friend that I play with, she is building this humongous house and needs a lot of quartz. And I had dug down and set up these steps and whatnot so that she could get down here to look for quartz. So since I had already gone part of the way down, I decided to go all the way down. And this is, I think, about level 10 or so. Yep, level 10 on the Y. And I wanted to be kind of far away from everything, so I just dug a tunnel and I've lined it with cobblestone. And this is where I made this huge room, and as you see, there's nothing here. Of course, you have to be around for stuff to spawn. But what I was hoping is if I built a big room like this, things like gaffs and the blaze would spawn in here, but I was mistaken about that. But anyway, what I found was when I was building this room, if you look up right there, towards here, you see it? That is nether brick, and that's what a fortress is made out of. And I tried to dig up here, as you see the lava dropping down. Tried to dig up here, I tried to dig up down here at the corner, trying to go up. I tried digging over here where the ladder is going up, and every time I tried to go up, I was running into lava. So what I did is I went back over to where those brick were showing and got to XYZ and figured I would go overland. So I went back to the end of this tunnel. Went back to the end of the tunnel. And I went up to that section right here. And what I did is I brought up the F3 for the XYZ, and I went over this far to where I was kind of lined up with one of them, either X or Z, I don't remember which one it was at the time, and just started heading that way. Now the reason it has a little zigzag in there is there's actually a peninsula of the netherite that I was building on top of for a period of time until I got out over the lava. But I, again, eventually found the fortress down there. So that was something that I wanted to accomplish, was to get to a fortress and to get myself set up to where I could kill the blazes to get the blaze rods. And again, I had gotten some of them previously from one of the other players, so I was able to make a brewing stand sooner. But again, I don't feel too badly. I just got it sooner than what I would, a little bit sooner, to be able to make a few potions. So let's get out of the nether. I hate when that thing pulls you back like that. So I've been working on my mine down here. When I start a mine, I go all the way down to bedrock. As you see, bedrock right there. And I go down. And each one of these is 50 blocks long. Then you skip 2. Same thing. And this particular path right here, I have made this path 100 blocks long. So this is every other block, 50 this way, 50 this way, continuing on for 100 blocks. And again, this is the room that I set up. There's a creeper right there. I don't want to get too close to him. But it is 30 by 30 by 10 feet high. And this is where you would come to shoot at whatever needs to be shot at. Of course, some of the stuff can get to you here. I'll do it. Okay. So anyway, this is for reaching across and killing stuff. Get out of here because I don't want to be near those creepers. And then up here is where I have storage for all the different things. Enderman pearls, slime balls, string, spider eyes, gunpowder. And then I have this area up here. Now I have to be careful. I hear a spider and he could be right on top of me. Whoops. Oh, I almost fell off. Look at him. I'm just kind of hanging out. Okay. Okay, that's too far up underneath. But anyway, this is where I have been picking up supplies for like spider spring and the other things that you would get from the mob drops. Well, see, I've set myself up here and I've got all kind of chests with supplies and then I'll be able to get this stuff out of here. Alright, so anyway, this is 100 blocks this way, and 50 going down each branch, every other. And then this one is level 10, and this is where I have found that you find most of the diamonds and whatnot. And this particular tunnel is 500 blocks long this way, but I've only harvested or branched off on each side for like 100 blocks. And in the process of doing these tunnels, on this side right here, this side right here, down at the far end, there was a cave over here to the right, back up in there. And it circled and went above our head, my head. And I said, well, when I was up and exploring the cave, I saw green mossy stone. And everyone that plays this game knows that green mossy stone means a spawner room. So, sure enough, there was a skeleton spawner, and there it is. And I have built one of the XP farms out of this skeleton farm, which the water flushes them into the elevator, takes them up, takes them across, and then drops them down into this area where you can kill them and get things like bows, arrows, armor, and bones. And you noticed I put sandstone in here just and the sea lanterns to dress it up. So anyway, the spawning room was on the very edge of a mine. So I knew there was more abandoned mine behind here, so I circled around and went behind this spawning room and found another, and the mine was here. You see part of it right here. And I'm blocked off that. There's more of it up in that direction. But I found a spider spawner and set up this type of XP farm. The spawner is probably about 6 or 7, but this little tunnel is probably about 4 or 5 blocks long. And the room is back behind this wall. And the spiders get flushed over part of the way, and then when they get to where they're crowding one another, they will push themselves through the opening. And if you wonder what the lever is for, if you look down, it's open. Here comes one now. Yep. See, they're getting pushed down, and they can't get to you here. And you just come over here to the side, and boom, they fall into the fall in and go into the chest. Wireless. So here comes another one. As they gather up on one another, they just start shoving each other through. See if another one will come through. But the lever there lifts that right there to block that off if you need to see how they're being pushed down. See them coming? See? Look. And then they go down in the middle. So anyway, I set that up, and I still wanted to be able to explore the mine, the abandoned mine. So I came further back and got to this point, I always set myself up in a little area to get stuff situated. That's the mine there, and I have not explored those areas yet. I'm headed off in this direction first, haven't explored there. All of these areas like that I haven't explored yet. That's just to let me know. Anyway, I got to here, to this room, and started going in here and was just overcome with the zombies. So I knew there had to be a spawner somewhere nearby. And sure enough, I found it. There it is. And I made this room here. Didn't want to build an XP farm. This one is designed so that zombies can come out. And once they're in this area here, what I'm doing is I'm waiting for a village zombie or a zombie villager to come out. And when one comes out, I put a fence up and block him in and then cure him. And then once he was cured, I set up a rail system. And this rail system leads over to a village that I built. And I used the cured zombie villagers to populate the village. And what I'll do eventually is to take the different villagers, the farmers, the blacksmith, and clerics and librarians, and all the different ones, and make sure I have one of each and put them in a separate area so that they're by themselves alone and easily traded with. I'm sure you've seen videos of like the different ones in a row, but this is the village that I built. It's daytime. It's getting ready to be nighttime. But this is what they call the big house, and I put some beds in there so that if I'm working in this area, I can sleep in there. The library over here. Some of the small huts. It's right there. And I think this is the smallest one right here. No, these are the same thing. Yeah. This is the butcher shop. I put that block wall up all the way around. And this particular gunman here is one that I actually created and put him here. This is the blacksmith shop. The knob on the furnaces, and I put an anvil there. And then more of the different little houses. That's the church right there. Better get inside, guys. This is the church. The second layer there, and then you can go all the way up on top. And this is just a view. That's Vicky's tree farm over there. That right there is my gardens and my tree farm. And a quick view of the village. Let's make it daytime. Okay. Let's see. There were some bad guys in here. This is the walkway to get back and forth. You see what I did over here? I went 4 wide and 4 deep on each side. That way, if, say, a creeper or something comes over, he can't walk right up to the side of the fence here and maybe blow something up. They fall down in here and they're far enough away to where they won't explode. Now, if there's a spider over there, they can crawl down and crawl back up. And of course, a skeleton, whatever, can shoot at you with his bow and arrow. So you still have to be careful. The last video I did, I think I had expanded the garden at that time. But I had not moved other stuff around. As you see, I took down the small house that I had. Built me a new place. This used to be the garden, original garden spot. And then over here where the animals and whatnot used to be. This is a view of my new house and the fence that I got going around it with the shrubbery. Back view. It's Vicky's house over there. She's in the process of just doing the interior. So that's the view of the outside of my house. And here's the inside. Chandelier. This is made from packed snow with gray wool floors. Dining room. Kitchen. Refrigerator, stove, coffee maker, sinks, cabinets. TV room with a big lounge, big TV. Got some like on my hidden speakers. It's downstairs. Upstairs, there's one bedroom here. Small TV sitting on top of the bookcase. Desk. This is the bathroom. Large shower, toilet, sink. Another bedroom here. To those large screen TV turned off at the moment. Speakers. And this is the small bedroom that I'm using for my bed to set my spawn and all. And it's got a area to look out. My garden. My iron farm over there. This door over here is what was the garage, which I've turned into a storage area. And if you remember before, the small house had a ladder to go down to get into the basement for all my storage, and this hasn't changed. Still, I think I've added some to it to put potions over there. And I got my enchantment room down here. The portal to get to the nether. The room where this is where I grow my brown mushrooms. You notice we had to come down a couple of steps. That's new. I had to lower all of this room and all of this area, and lowered this because I lowered all of this area up here to move all my animals to. As you see, I have cows and one donkey, and chickens over here, rabbits, sheep, Picky has been over here using my sheep to gather brown wool. I use gray wool most of the time, and then pigs. I didn't have pigs before, but I decided to go ahead and start some. So, I think that's pretty much what I have changed, is the new house and moving all of my animals into a better area. Built the village, populated it from the 3 new spawners that I found. Found the nether fortress and found the blaze spawner so I can get as much blaze rods as I want. And today is, I think, I'm hearing that in about a week, 1.9 update is supposed to be coming out within a week, maybe 2 weeks. And when that happens, everything gets reset. So all of this work that I have done will be gone and we'll have to start completely over. But that, to me, is what makes this game fun, is doing all the building. So again, I hope that you enjoyed the video. Hope there was something in here that you could use to make your Minecraft playing more enjoyable. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.